Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to learn how to knit the garter stitch rib. It's a ribbing. It looks a little bit like the 2x2 rib that we've done here in a previous video, and if you're interested, these are the stitches that we learned in the first video: garter stitch, 1x1 rib in the second, 2x2 rib in the second. Then we learned stockinette and seed stitch. And this is what it looks like, the one we're learning today, the garter stitch ribbing. But I figured that it doesn't do it justice on this variegated yarn. So I wanted to go ahead and show you on a plain yarn and a bit more of a dense fabric. So you need your needles, and these are a bit smaller for this yarn, but I wanted the fabric to be denser so you can see the stitch definition better. And my yarn is here. I'm using We Are Knitters the Petite Wool, very soft and squishy. It's beautiful for a hat. I've knitted hats from it. I've also knitted a cardigan from this yarn, which is beautiful, by We Are Knitters. But anyway, we're here today to learn a stitch. So first of all, I'm going to leave some tail over there. Then I'm going to hold my yarn like this, with the tail on the right and the working yarn on the left. I'm going to let the yarn twist one loop, reach through and pick the tail, and then I'm going to pull on the tail to make that little loop a bit smaller. I'm going to put both of my needles through. I always say in all my videos that you should cast on double needles to make life easier for the first row after cast on. Then I'm going to wrap the working yarn around my finger, and I'm going to hold the tail like this and go under with my thumb, and then under with the needles, grab the working yarn and pull through. Let's try again. Under with my thumb, under with my needles, wrap the yarn around and pull through. So you want to cast on a multiple of 4 plus 2 for this stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and cast some more. Okay, so I have here 18 stitches. This is what we're working with, and I finished on the wrong side. So if I turn my work to start working, this is the wrong side. You know that you have the right side because at the bottom of your cast on you will have these little diagonal lines. That means that's your right side. If you turn your work, you have these little bumps. That's your wrong side of the work, and we want to start on the right side. We want to start our work on the right side. So in this situation, I recommend you pull out the needle and do one row of just knits, which will give a beautiful edge at the bottom of your work. So you keep your yarn in the back, you go in through the front and knit. And we want to knit every stitch. And see how easy it is that we did a cast on 2 needles. It's not tight, which means that your bottom of your work will be a little bit elastic, so it's good for cuff down socks. Okay, so this will be the setup row. And now we're going to start working our stitch. So as you can see, we ended up with one row here of these little bumps, which will be decorative. Now, this is a 2-row repeat, very simple. The first row is knit all stitches. So exactly what we did before. I'm going to keep the yarn at the back and go through the front and knit all stitches. There we go. That is our first row. Then I'm going to turn the work, and this is our second row, and then we're just going to repeat these two. Our second row is work like this. I'm going to knit the first stitch. Then I'm going to bring the yarn forward to purl 2. So I'm going to go from right to left, wrap my yarn around, purl 1, and do the same again, purl 2. Then I'm going to knit 2, bring the yarn forward to purl 2, yarn back, knit 2, yarn forward, purl 2, and we repeat this until we have 1 stitch left. And I'm going to knit that stitch. That will give a nice edge. So that is it. We're going to repeat these 2 rows and it will create a nice ribbing. So again, I'm on row number 1. I'm going to knit all stitches. There we go. Turn my work and work row number 2 from the row repeat, which is knit 1, bring yarn forward to purl 2, take the yarn back to knit 2, yarn forward to purl 2, yarn back, knit 2, and we repeat this as many times as we want to achieve the desired length of our project. Now I want to do a bit more to show you what it looks like on the front and on the back. We have a little bit of an idea what it looks like. We'll end up with 2 stitches here that are garter, and then the 2 stitches here, they're just V's, just column of V's, then garter, then V's, garter, then V's. That's what it looks like on the front of the work. On the back of the work, it looks a little bit like just garter stitch. The only thing is that we have the garter stitch more poking out on these columns, and then it's a bit in the background on the columns in between. So I'll just do a little bit more and then I'll show you what it looks like. So as you can see, I've done a little bit more and you can see it better now. We have our columns of V here and then the garter stitch in between. And then on the back, you can see the garter stitch columns just popping out a little bit. Can you see? And then just the plain pearls are on the background. Perfect for cuffs of sweaters, hats as well. You can even knit a whole hat with this stitch. Also beautiful for sock cuffs. It's gorgeous. It lays flat. Let me just take these out. Lays flat, so you can use it as a scarf as well. That is the garter stitch rib 2x2. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it on your social media, so whoever wants to learn how to knit, they can come back to this video and the other ones in the series and learn how to knit. Thank you. Bye.